What? All right, that's bugging out. I'll just open up a new one. TradingView.com. So TradingView.com is a global like market watch, really, the way I like to call it. You can look at different stocks. You can look at different stocks. You can look at foreign exchange pairs. You can look at metals. You can look at silvers. You can look at commodities. So, for instance, if you want to look at Euro USD, you would type in the ticker for it, which is Euro USD. I look at this first one called Forex FXCM. When you open that up, you can go ahead and on this lower right corner, my Wi-Fi is doo-doo right now. Hey, yo, this is not acting like that when I pull this up. You put up a full feature chart, and so that'll pull up as the chart for you, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and clean my chart, or should I? Let me see. I'll start with a new chart. That way we could start from the bottom up of what, like, when I opened the chart was my first kind of thoughts, my initial like reaction to what's going on. I don't even think, oh yeah, you see all this like drawing madness I got going on? So this is me like I marked this pair up last Friday. This is actually interesting because I looked at this pair. This is the pair that I put up on YouTube, the markup that I did. And I had a little, I was teaching like probably like 2 or 3 people or something like that on the Zoom. And they got some gems from it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and erase all this because it looked like some nonsense. So I'm gonna remove my drawing. So Euro USD, right? So the Euro USD is one of the major pairs in the market because it has a USD on it, right? So this gets a lot of action. This gets a lot of volatility. This gets a lot of pressure, volume, and everything you want to call it. So when I open up a chart, what I do and what it's called is top-down analysis. And what top-down analysis means is that you go from the higher time frames, and you go down the time frames. Because in the higher time frames, these candles, so what these movements are in the market, I just zoomed in OD, I'm sorry. And I got the free John, so all these ads be popping up. So these different candles, this red candle going up, this red candle going down, and the green candle going up, these are called candlesticks. And what these candlesticks mean is that this green, these sequence of green candles right here means that price came up from this lowest point of, as you look at the right-hand side, the numbers that scroll up and down when I go up and down the chart, it says 1.07833. When it goes up, it came all the way up to 137.12. So this is called a bullish move. So when people refer to the market being bullish, or people refer to things going up, they use this phrase called bullish. And what bearish is it going down. So price going up and going down. Cool. So you got that concept down. Very simple to recognize. Now, on the top-down analysis, right, you would start from, I would initially look from the week, right? So the market opens up on Sunday, opens up at 5 p.m. on Sunday, and it closes at 5 p.m. Sunday. So right now we in like the tail end of the market, closes on Friday. What's it called? Yeah, it closes on Friday. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a long day and shit. So it opens up on Sunday, closes on Friday, right? 5 p.m. to 5 p.m. So it'll close tomorrow at 5 p.m. So we got Tokyo session and London session that are going to go on before New York, and then it closes after New York. So there's 3 major markets too, and there's 3 major sessions in the market, which is important to realize too when you're first starting to trade. So you have the New York session, which is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's the Tokyo session, which is, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 5 p.m. to, no, I'm lying. It's 6 p.m. because the market closes for that 1 hour to about, let me actually look this up. You hear my dumbass dog barking in the back and shit. So Tokyo session is, I forget when it closes, I ain't gonna lie to you. $11 p.m. to 8, huh? That makes sense, actually. That's Asian. Sorry, y'all. And this is a good website, too. Baby Pips, if you want to learn, like, literally from the ground zero, Baby Pips is a great website to get on and learn how to trade. So, yeah, 5 p.m. I'm tripping out. Where the fuck is it? Nonetheless, it closes at 10, I'm pretty sure. 10 p.m. and then the London session starts open back up at 3 a.m. and then it opens up like midway through New York. So that's when you get a lot of volatility. That's why you find that a lot of pairs move through the night. I live on the East Coast, so it'll be on that time frame. So besides the markets being, these sessions and everything like that, real quick, there's only 3 ways that the market moves, right? I'll just get down to the nitty gritty. There's only 3 ways the markets move. So they move in an uptrend, right? Moves in consolidation. I always spell this word wrong as hell. Consolidation. And it moves in a downtrend. Now, real quick, somebody unmute and just tell me with your eyes, without even putting a line on this chart, without even like really doing too much analysis, what is this market currently in, right? If we look at from here to here, right? What is this market currently in? Y'all can unmute, you can write it in the chat. What does it look like to you? Correct. So on this weekly time frame, this would be on a downtrend, right? You can see price going from the top to the bottom. Cool. So now with you knowing that, you know that on a weekly time frame, it's on the downtrend, this Euro USD. So the way I draw these trend lines, right, is I'll go from the top to the bottom. So this trend line, I'll draw from wick to the other wick. So this right here on this candle, this green like upper body and this lower body, this is called the body of the candle. This lower part of it is called a wick. This top part of it is called a wick. So this means that price went at its highest up here, and this is at its lowest down here. And this is where it opened. I'm sorry, this is where it opened and this is where it closed during this weekly time frame. So this is 1 week of a candle worth. Now, the way I draw my trend lines is I go from one point to the second point and then into the future. That's how I was learned. That's how I was learned. That's how I was taught. So if you look at this first line to the second line into the future. So then I'll just kind of align it at the top while I'm aligning it down. Now you can see where price came up. This is, if you look at the bottom, it says 09 March 20th. So this is the 9th of March. It came up to this trend line at about, and I'll drop a horizontal line on this real quick, just to show you the significance of like marking up charts like this. I'm gonna take this off, make this like a yellow. So you see it came up at this trend line here, bounced, and that was the biggest move and made downwards. And this is 2 weeks of sales. This is 2 weeks of the market going down. That's 850 pips. So if you were like a swing trader, like I was mentioning, and you only analyzed like on the daily and the weekly, and you held trades for days and weeks at a time. Now, mind you, in the foreign exchange market, you need to have a lot of capital in order to, hold these trades. You can't be holding trades with $100 accounts and expect you to be gravy, The market is a $7 trillion market that it will take your money and run with it for sure. So back to this trend line, right? I drew this trend line on a weekly basis, and you saw that it came up on this highest point and fell down and with its most, volume. And then at this lowest point, it bought back up to this trend line and currently is having that sell issue. And you can see, I'll zoom in on the weekly chart, right? This is just the week, mind you guys. It came up to this trend line that we drew, and it's giving all these wicks trying to break through price. And this last week, these last 2 weeks, it's trying to break through price, and it has not been. And it's been selling and selling. However, this week it's been having a lot of bullish momentum. That's why this candle is green. So with all that knowledge that we just gathered from the weekly chart, right? We'll go down to the daily chart. I'm sorry, I'm about to take some bite of this pizza real quick. So, yo, this pizza good as hell. You heard, babe? This pizza good as hell. No cap. I'm sorry. So, the daily chart, right? So this is the daily chart. And you'll notice that the different time frames correlate with each other. Now, real quick, somebody unmute, write in the chat if you want to. Based on, well, this is the weekly box that we drew, right? So I'll go down even further. I'll zoom in a little further. What could you say that this market, in the 3 trends that I was going over, what could you say this market trend is currently in?
For sure, downtrend.
Word. Downtrend, without a doubt, right? And the goal of making, like, I know this might be like some kindergarten shit, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? But, sorry. But it really gets that simple with trading, yo. You don't need to have all these indicators. You don't need to have all these gurus talking to you. You don't need to, like, trading can be so simple with lines and trend lines, yo, and boxes. And if you make trading simple for you, it's simple for you, you know what I mean? So, nonetheless, it's on this downtrend, right? On the day chart. And you can see on the weekly, this trend line is still being respected. Now, what do y'all notice, right? That price, what kind of shape did price do at the bottom when it came up and touched these trend lines? In this, oh shit, wrong John. What did price do at the bottom here? I'll make this a little background. Like, what kind of shape do y'all see? Like, y'all see any, like, without even knowing like any patterns and anything like that. Like, what did price do at the bottom of this channel when it came down after it touched these trend lines? Like, what's going on down here?
Is it consolidation?
Correct. So we got some consolidation down here, right? And this can only mean that it met some type of area, right, that it doesn't really like. Now, the way that you look at the market, right, is that you will want to look to the left always, 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 always. You want to know where price is going to go, where it's at right now, based on where it's at, you look to the left, yo. Now, this is the daily chart, right? And you can see, even if I'm zooming out, that through this area, there's a lot of consolidation moves. Now, what I would do if I wanted to really, okay, so let's take a step back after all these little things. So we know that there's a downtrend, you know there's consolidation down here, but what I really wanted you guys to point out was that price made like this big ass W. You see this big ass W it made? So with these called right here, these two W's, like it was just consolidating in this area. Like you were 100% correct. But I wanted you to notice that it came down, touched this line not once, touched this line, touched this line not twice, touched this line 3 times before it made this big ass day, like weeks worth of buy up to this trend line. So imagine, guys, if we had this trend line drew from March 10th and we had this markup still and we looked at current like June, we would be like, yo, price is making its way towards this trend line. And what would we say? That price is in an uptrend and we will buy up to that trend line. And knowing that that weekly trend line is there, we could say to ourselves, yo, last time it was at that trend line, it either fell OD or it's going to break above it and continue its trend. But on this day chart, we see that prices, it did a double top at this trend line. It's no coincidence that it does this shit, y'all. There's no coincidence. And we didn't even really go too much to the left. And I really don't like to put too much support and resistance, too many lines, because I like to have a clean chart and a clean like point of view and perspective when it comes to the markets, because they can get all types of crazy. One person can be saying buy, another person can be saying sell, all this other good stuff. But as long as you know what you're looking for, you can know your risk to reward and know why you may be 10 pips or 20 pips in the red, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So it's really important for you to trust your own analysis. Fuck what that person say, fuck what this person say. What are you looking at the market and how can you, you know, finesse it, whatever the case may be. Nonetheless, support and resistance. I just want to touch on that real quick. So the way I would draw support and resistance, right? I'll look at the weekly, determine the trend, and go from there down to weeks. So I go down in the day. I would change this candlestick. So it's on candlesticks right now. I would change it to a line chart. Now, what a line chart would do, if you notice, it only considers the opens and the closings of the candles. It does not consider the wicks. So you would notice how our trend line kind of doesn't align too much, but I like to consider wicks because that's how his price went. You know what I mean? So line chart. So I would draw literally lines. I'm sorry. If I was to draw support and resistance the way I used to, not used to, but, you know, if I would, and this is a good teaching, like, you know, this is a good teaching moment for support and resistance, because this is all support and resistance is. Think of it like this. So, you know, you have your floor where you walk on. That's your support. If the floor were to go out underneath you, price will go, damn, the flames finally came. Okay, so you got support and you got resistance. You walking on your support line. If support were to break, you know, you will fall down, but it's keeping you supported. Same thing with resistance. If you were 7 foot tall and you touching, I mean, if you was 10 foot tall and you touching your living room ceiling, that's your resistance. You can't go any higher. So, right, with you knowing that, you would draw. So you see, all right, nonetheless, this shit is a perfect head and shoulders, right? If you know pattern is a perfect head and shoulders. Nonetheless, right? I would literally come here and see, okay, price touch here, price touch here, price touch here, and here in the middle. I will come like right in the middle, considering this left side, and put this trend line right here. I mean, put a horizontal line right there. And this would be considered my resistance for this area, right? But now you can see if you went to the right, because based on the left, it considered this resistance, but broke above and came down and found a new resistance and then found new support. Consolidated, came up, found resistance at this trend line, came down, found this to be support of previous resistance. If I'm going over somebody's head, if I'm going too fast, like, please stop me. But like, it don't get more easier than this. You know what I'm saying? It don't get more easier for you to realize what price action does, because it goes based on what happened in the past. I don't know if your mother ever told you, your father ever told you, like, ain't nothing new under the sun, nothing. The market is gonna do what it did in the past. Again, it's just all a matter of time and you being above that trend. So that's support and resistance. I forget who asked that question, but If you got
Yeah, I
it,
do have
you
a quick
know,
question though
yeah,
to
go ahead.
bounce off of that. So like you said, for the second line, it ends up turning to, so once it breaks.
Yeah, so on this left side in March 2nd, right, it broke above this resistance and hit this weekly trend line that we previously drew. Fell down OD, right? Broke through that little it didn't even act as a resistance or support right here. It just broke through and found that resistance again. Price will like to go where it's been before. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep.
So, you don't have to worry too much about like, resistance turning into support or none of that. You would have to notice, because this is price in the past, right? All we want to know is what price is doing right now. So right now, what would you consider, right? Price to go next is right here in this little middle area. This is on the day, mind you. What would you think, like, what's going on with price? Just if you took a gander, like, okay, it's going to go to which line first?
Right. I would say it's potentially to buy up since that resistant turned to like a support.
Correct. That is a great, you know what I'm saying? That's like literally just how you putting things into really simple perspectives. And these time frames are huge time frames. These candles are not minute candles, not week candles. These are day candles. So that's correct. So I would consider that, it'll buy up real quick before it shoots back down. Just based off that. So that's support and resistance, y'all. You can use support and resistance to, again, figure out what price is going to go next. And you don't want to predict the market. You want to react to what it's showing you. Nonetheless, that's the day chart, y'all. So real quick, let's take a break from the chart. I want to show you some other stuff. So I don't know if y'all saw in the Telegram, but this morning, I wake up early as shit. Early as shit, because I've been working 9 to 5. I get up early to see if I can see what the market doing. But I get up and I draw like an idiot. Like sensitively, I draw these patterns over and over and over again. These ascending triangles, you know what I mean? These descending triangles. So that way, when I see it in the market, it's like, oh, I drew this early and I know, what's going to happen. I just got to wait for it to happen. Does that make sense? So it's important for you to like really, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to draw. I'm going to drop these study files that I got here. Let me just find this folder. I got too many things open right now. This is a perfect one. This is one of my favorites. I dropped this in the chat the other day. So, all right, let's take this and bring this to the side. Let's pull up our chart. Shit. Actually, before I even go that further, I just want to show y'all this. Do I even got it? I am folding right now. I apologize. No, all right, cool. So I'll just Google it real quick. So I was gonna show you. I don't know how familiar y'all are with like double tops, double bottoms, but they're like classic patterns and things that you should, pay attention to in the market. So this is literally what I'll do, y'all. Like I use cheat sheets. I'll pull this up right next to my computer, my phone, wherever I'm doing, and literally just look at this and see where I can match the market at. So let's pull this to the side. Man, this is really difficult to do while you're recording because that joint is in the way. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna draw like a little box here. Can y'all see this chart? I know it's probably small on y'all screen, but you see this little square I drew, y'all? What would you think, right? What pattern do you see this little thing going in? There's actually two patterns that I see personally. It's right here though, in this area.
So the double top in the head and shoulders.
Good. That's great. Right? So based on that, based on what price is showing you, it's not trying to create new higher highs. And what trends are considered, and what trends are, how you say this? What makes a trend is its higher highs, right? The highest it went, the lowest it went. And look here, y'all, came at this weekly trend line we drew and gave some resistance and fell back down. Higher high, lower low, lower high. In my opinion, y'all, this thing is ready to sell a little bit further down because it already came and gave us that one touch down here. It could give us another push up to this trend line, which would be interesting. Then I'll give us, in my opinion, an even bigger drop. But I think EU is bullish right, it's bearish right now, right? I think it has potential to sell. Now, as someone mentioned, they see a double top right here. So that means it came up, you know what I mean, came down. This is where the neckline would be at, right in this area. I'll draw a what's the name right here. And this will be the neckline, right? Came up, did another touch. We'll consider this double top. And this is how you would trade this pair. This is how you would trade this markup. I mean, this pattern right here. I'm sorry. Right? You would be like, oh, damn, it made that double touch. So it teaches you right here how to get into the trade. At neckline, ideally, what we could see next, right, is we could see price come down to this trend angle that we drew right here, and we could potentially enter right here to catch this move downwards. And this is the day chart. Mind you, if we have for a couple of days, this is 150 pips worth of pips, right? Which is cool. That's money in the bank. No doubt about that. But that's how you identify patterns, yo. This is like real basic market structure, price action. It don't get more dumbed down than this in terms of like looking at the market. You know, this is not no indicator. This is not pretty stuff. This is nitty gritty. You looking at the market and really bullying the chart and say like, yo, like, tell me what's going on. Tell me what's next, really. And it really just take you going left, yo. You looking left. So I went down to the 4 hour. And as you can tell, there's more kind of action. There's more candles really kind of faking you out, showing you like, you know, where it could possibly go while hiding this true trend. But we know because we looked at the weekly and we looked at the daily that it's in two downtrends. Both of those big time frames are in the same correlation. So we could bet, I will bet my money that on the 4 hour, it'll be bearish, right? And so what is it? When we go on a 4 hour, this is me zooming out OD. When we go inside, this is more of a downtrend. Correct me if I'm wrong. What do y'all think?
Yeah, that's a downtrend.
You know what I mean? So it really don't get more simple than this, y'all. You know, you open up a pair, blank, okay, cool. What's going on with this pair? Throw it on a week. Okay, it's in the downtrend. Go further down to the daily. You find some more support and resistance, some areas of interest that you think price will act up in. You know, because you could see, like, yo, look at this right here. I don't know exactly where I drew my levels, but I'm almost 1,000% sure that on my YouTube video, I caught this head and shoulders pattern right here. You see this little extra box I drew? It literally got his left shoulder in this area, his head, and his right shoulder. I believe I entered right here and caught this downside right here. And then I didn't catch this bull up, but I was looking at it. I think I threw it in the chat. And so right now, look at that. It's making this way down. Now, to get even more intricate, I was going to say some bullshit. To get more precise and more specific, right? We could draw like, actually like what was going on here, but I don't want to make it too messy, you know? Nonetheless. Anybody got any questions real quick before I kind of move forward? Anybody kind of lost? Anybody want more clarification?
Like, just really just look for engulfing pattern. Like, I'm going to show you guys how this strategy
is. This mine? Am I?
On this time frame currently.
Somebody watching some training video too? That's lit. Y'all hear that?
Here's the good thing.
Right, I hear it.
Word.
Right.
But yeah, y'all, I'm actually drop this real quick before I forget. This is a good ass. He basically is making the same arguments that I'm making. Don't make it too hard. Don't make it too complicated. You know, focus on your chart and what's going on with you. This is my girl's. What's her name? Telegram. How do I? All right, cool. I'll drop it in the discussion real quick. Watch that video when y'all get a chance. It's got some dope stuff. And actually, while I'm at it, let me drop this. Let me drop these. Here. I can't even do that. That makes sense. So study up on these too, y'all. Save these on your phone. Put this somewhere where y'all would look. Print them out. Do whatever you gotta do. I don't even know if that even on the side. Yeah, that should hit y'all phone soon. Cool. Check them out, yo. That's good stuff. That's good stuff to memorize. That's good stuff to study, so that way y'all could be hip on what the market's gonna do. So my idea, right? I don't know who told me to look at EU, but if I were to put a setup in this thing, if I was to check this joint out, let's see. I think we kind of missed our sell opportunity, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So the next move I'll potentially make, I would want price to show me what it's gonna do in this area. A gift from Zoom. Oh, this thing about to end, y'all. This Zoom about to end. I'm sorry about that. I hope y'all got some knowledge out of this shit, but Yeah, so I would want to see what price does in this area. If it comes down here, what I'll do is if y'all put like a little a trial on Trading View, at the bottom, you see here it says add alert. You could click here and it'll text you or it'll notify you, like send you a notification when price hit this level that you told it to, basically hit this level. So I will use this to let me know entries, to let me know if I'm too close to my stop loss, profit, and stuff like that. But potentially, y'all, I think we missed the sell opportunity on EU. So I will leave it alone until it comes in this area and then it tells me what it wants to do. And that's the biggest thing with trading, yo. You don't need to be in a million trades. You don't need to catch a signal. You don't need to chase a signal. Like, if I were y'all, because this is my first mistake when I first started trading, I was a fiend for signals. I was like, yo, tell me what to do. I'll plug it in. I don't give a damn. And what I would notice is that I don't like when I see red, and I don't like when it's a negative. But now that I understand what I'm looking for in the market, I understand why it's going a little bit, not in my direction because you studied the market, and you studied the chart, and you're like, oh, okay, it's gonna do that because I looked at it before, right? If you just go into a trade blindly and the signal blindly, you're kind of upset when you lose money because you're like, damn, I kind of gambled. And that's essentially what you're doing. You never want to gamble with your money. I'm not the type of person to do shit like that. I need to know what my money's doing. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, just simple life stuff. But like trading, this is all it is, yo. It's patience. It's waiting for the right entry, waiting for things to show you what you want to see. And yeah, yo, that make trading hard, yo, because this shit is hard as hell regardless. Let me see some pairs that I'm actually trading right now. I'm in a UCAD sell. I've been in this sell all day, yo. I've been in this sell all day. And look at this. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'll go down an hour real quick. I've been in this sell since like 6 in the morning. So, not lie. I actually got up. Yeah, I got up at like 5. So I actually entered right when I got up. So you see this candle right here, this sell candle? What I'm anticipating UCAT to do, and it's actually consolidating, which I'm not too worried about why I'm in red, but I think UCAT is going to sell, right? And I'll tell you why UCAT I think is going to sell. We go to the 4-hour chart.
So always look for price. So here's where our
you
first
see,
smart money is, right? Look for one at the bottom as well.
Yeah, who's watching this video right now?
At the bottom.
Who is Alton?
Right? So
Alton. I'll mute you, Alton. You blowing me right now. No cap. It's kind of disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. Anyway, this yellow trend line right here, right? You see price consolidating in this area. I drew this little flag, little channel. It bought up a bit, kind of threatened this area. But look, yo, it's been jiggling, and I don't have another word other than jiggling. But this rectangle right here, it has not broken this level of resistance, right? At all. It said, I'm coming up. I hit it again. I want to hit it again. But I believe that this sell candle is going to break through, and it's going to show us at the end of this rectangle. And that's just my bias on UCAT. But I've been in red all day. So we'll see what happens. I might eat my words. I might not. On NZD USD, this is actually a good-ass trade. And I should have entered, but I didn't. I'm actually sick. So I marked this up on Sunday, and I found that price was in this rectangle consolidation area. And what I anticipated price to do is buy back up to this rectangle to test this higher high and then ultimately sell. What I'm looking for, which is important that y'all realize this, I'm looking for a sell ultimately, but I'm catching a buy up to the sell. Does that make sense? So you can catch the market both ways. So I had my entry yesterday here, and this joint is 139 pips that I'm anticipating to happen. If I got into this buy, I would be 40 pips in profit, but I didn't. I'm kicking myself. I ain't gonna lie about that one, but I'm proud that I marked this up, And sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. Sometimes you gotta be like, damn, I missed that one, but I knew it was gonna go this way. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take a little 2-minute break and eat a little bit. But if y'all got any questions, if I'm moving too fast before I get off this call, I know it's gonna end soon. If y'all got any questions real quick, holla at me. No?
Which part of it do you press to get the notification?
Oh, so you see in my cursor, right? Basically, if you were to draw like anything, you could click on any line. You would click on it. You see at the bottom where it has the color and the line width and the style. This is this little thing. It'll add Actually, let me make a new one. So I'll make a random ass line. This right here, if you click it, it'll be add alert. You click that, it'll alert you at whether it'll notify you on the app, show a pop-up, send an email, all the different things. You can change it to hitting once per bar, once per minute, a close per bar. It's pretty cool. So that way you look on your phone and, oh shit, prices at this area. Let me open up the chart. Let me see. That way you get a better entry. You're not like constantly watching a MetaTrader 4 and the money going up and down. That's another thing. Don't be watching a MetaTrader 4 and your money go up and down. Watch the chart. Watch the chart. So that's NCD USD. I'm bullish on that shit. I'm bearish on UCAT. I'm bearish on EU. Oh, I'm tripping. Y'all just spill a little bit of. I'm tripping right now. What the? Nah, not on a laptop, but like, what? I'm OD. Anyway, this just shows you I gotta get off this call. How much time we got left? I don't even know. It don't tell you. Any questions, y'all, before we go off? Before we sign off? I'll drop some more markups in the chat, but I'm really not looking to trade tomorrow because Mondays and Fridays I try to stay away from the market because it usually like fakes out. And then from like Tuesday to Thursday, it kind of gives you those good moves that you're looking for. Cryptocurrencies open on the weekend. I might look at Bitcoin, but I really don't be fucking with Bitcoin too because that's unregulated and do what I want. But people make a lot of money on Bitcoin. I've made a lot of money on Bitcoin before. But it's been a good call. I know I kind of gave out a lot of shit at one time, but I hope y'all learned something.
Oh yeah, I definitely learned some. Appreciate that.
No doubt. I really appreciate you cooperating, not cooperating, but like collaborating with me and having correspondence. I like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know if I got some more questions, I'm definitely gonna be bothering you. But
For sure.
like I said, I know I'm like, I'm pretty solid with what I do. It's like I said, catching those zones. I get caught up a lot when it's consolidating, and that's what I try to like avoid.
You get out early or you get out too late and you just, psych yourself out. That happens to me, man. For real.
Right.
That's a part of trading, though. It's all psychology. We could look at the market. Look how quick that took. That took, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of real focus. Besides that, it's all mental.
Right.
It's all mental besides that. Trading is all mental. But I'm going to get into this food because I don't want this shit to get cold.
And what broker you suggest then too? Like,
so I've been through a couple brokers. I started with Hugo. I went to Hugo. I had KOT Forex. Both of those are unregulated, so I don't advise those. The broker I'm with right now is called Eagle Forex. It's regulated, which means it has like real life data. It won't close on you like oil did with KOTX. I like Eagle Forex right now. Eagle FX.
Right, I just literally signed up with them because I use Hugo's Way, LQDFX.
Yeah, they do a lot of shady shit.
I noticed some things, but then Eagle FX is someone I've just literally signed up with.
Yep, this is a good broker so far. I don't got no problem, so I'm sure probably another story come out about it being bogus too. So we'll probably be on to the next one.
Right.
Yep. But I'm gonna stop sharing it. Well, I'm gonna stop recording if I know how to do that. I actually don't. Bugging out. But this joint about to end in a little bit. Y'all have a great night. Y'all got any questions? Throw it in the chat. Holla at me. I'm about to get into this food, y'all. Have a good night.